it's Hunter and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, it is so nice to meet you. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the books that I read in May. I read some good ones in May, so I'm really excited to share them with you guys. I do this at the beginning of every month to just share with you guys the books I'm reading and how I feel about them, so hopefully you can get some inspiration on books that you should read. So with that being said, I don't want this to take too long, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first book I read in May is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and let me tell you, I have no idea why I didn't read a book by her sooner. I don't know why I was hesitant, but I genuinely loved this book. I listened to it, I think I borrowed it from Hoopla through my library, and it was just so good. I cried, I laughed. It was just, overall, it was a very good book. It made me feel a lot of things. I felt like the banter was really easy. I loved the characters. I loved the development of the friendship that happened here. It deals with a lot of topics like infertility, grief, loss, friendship, and just overall, I thought it was so good, and I am so glad I picked it up because now I am desperate to read all of her other books. The next book I read in May was It's One of Us by J.T. Ellison, and easiest way to describe this book is a man donated his specimen a long time ago, so a lot of children have been conceived using his specimen, and then one day this woman is murdered and the DNA of the killer matches the DNA is like related to the specimen. It's a donor conceived kid, and it's tied back to this man who donated, and then the donor ends up like wanting to find out information about the other kids, and I don't know, he's just like trying to figure it out, and yeah, murder, donor conceived kids, put it together, and what have you got? It's One of Us by J.T. Ellison. I thought it was really good. Okay, next I read A Funny Story by Emily Henry, and this one came out, yeah, April 23rd, and I loved this one. I actually think this might be my favorite Emily Henry yet. Book Lovers and Happy Place are my other two, like, that I love the most, but I seriously am obsessed with this book. It's about, what are their, I can never remember character names. Daphne is engaged to Peter. Petra is dating Miles. Peter breaks up with Daphne for Petra, and they move in together into Peter and Daphne's house. So then Daphne needs a place to live, so she moves in with Miles as a temporary solution until she can find something else. She just needed to get out of the house that her and Miles had together, and they form an unlikely friendship that obviously grows into more. It's forced proximity, it's friends to lovers. I just genuinely enjoyed this. I loved the easy banter, I loved the friendship, just overall, I really enjoyed this. The next book I read is If This Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy, and Disney has created like a series of Disney retellings as romance novels. So this one is a retelling of Cinderella, obviously If the Shoe Fits. So this is the first book in that series. It's basically Cinderella meets The Bachelor. So I thought this one was really cute. I thought it was really well told. I liked the modern elements. I just thought it went really well. Like, I think I told the story really well. The next book I read in May is Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren, and this is actually the fourth book in the Meant to Be series, and this one comes out on June 25th of this month, so like this year. I got an advanced reader's copy because I won a giveaway on Goodreads, and I really liked this. It took me a while to like actually start reading it because it was a physical copy of a book, and I struggle to read physical copies a little bit sometimes, but I thought this one was really cute. I love Christina Lauren. Obviously, this one is a modern retelling of Tangled. I thought it was really cute and I really enjoyed it. Next is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I gave this one 5 stars. This is about a family of 3 adult children. The oldest is Beth. She lived at home with her mom, taking care of her while she was on hospice. And then after their mom passes, all 3 of the siblings are coming together, trying to figure out like what happened to their dad. Their dad disappeared one day. Girl went missing when they were still at home when they were kids, and they find a home video and discover something about this missing girl, and they're trying to piece together what happened, figure out how this child went missing, who had things to do with it, and yeah, they're trying to solve this case and also trying to figure out what happened to their dad. So I really liked this one. So the next book I read is The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and you'll see the cover here, but I was really annoyed whenever I was first looking at this because it has a typewriter font where it says New York Times bestselling author of, and also where it says a novel at the top. But having read the book, I understand that that actually goes along with the book. And also the cover of this book is really helpful at giving like a visual of the setting of this book. So this book is about Lenora Hope. She is like a local, it's like a nursery rhyme basically, but like a scary one. So it starts with Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope. Schoolyard chant, that's what they call it. Reduced to a schoolyard chant because she supposedly killed her sister and her parents in a murder spree, I guess, when she was a teenager, but there was never any evidence, like concrete evidence that could actually convict her of these murders. So it takes place in 1983 and she has a new home health aide named Kit. Kit has to stay in this job because she got in trouble with her previous job. So she either has to work this job or she just doesn't have a job. So she has to like stick through, she can't leave. They spend all day on a typewriter trying to learn what happened. The house is on the edge of a cliff, and so the house is like tilting because erosion is eventually going to take the house, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. The next book I read was Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simon, and I hate to say it, but I was really disappointed with this one. I gave this one 3 stars. Honestly, it kind of gave me Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders vibes, but I don't know. I felt like it was lacking the thrill. It felt very slow. I ended up downloading it on my library app for like with the audiobook because reading it just felt so slow, but I was too far along to stop reading it, if that makes sense. So I gave it 3 stars because there were some intriguing portions of it, but it just felt so slow to me. The next book I read was The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and I will devour any of her books. I will literally read anything this woman writes. I gave it 5 stars, obviously. It was so good. I have no other words. Okay, next. The next book I read is The Good Husband by Steve French, and I gave this one 3 stars. 3 stars? Was it 4? 4 stars. Because I guessed the main plot twist, which is not good. I don't want to guess the main plot twist. So it's about this man who, his wife does not come home from a business trip one day, and then he is called to the morgue to identify her body, and he starts to learn a lot of secrets about his wife, what she was doing, who she was with, why she wasn't where she said she was going to be, and all of that stuff. And he is also doing everything in his power to protect the family that he has left. So I thought overall it was a really good story and I liked the concept. I went through it really quickly, but again, I guessed that main plot twist, and I feel like that's just like not good. And the last book I read in May is How to Plot a Payback by Melissa Ferguson. And I gave this one 3 stars, and I feel so bad about it because I love the other books I've read by her, but this one felt really slow to me. It was a romance, and it was a closed door romance. I love closed door romance. It's like my favorite genre of book ever because it just gives me all the feels without all of the graphic. So I love a closed door romance, but this one felt so closed that they didn't even go in the room. They didn't even open the door to go in themselves. So it's about this man named Finn. He is a writer on a sitcom, and he gets hired to, well, he's been like a longtime writer on a different show, and he gets hired to work on this longtime really popular sitcom, and it's really great for his career. He has great ideas. He's an excellent writer. Everyone that knows his writing loves him. And then he finds out that the show that he is about to be on is going to star his longtime enemy, and so he is basically just trying to figure out how to pay her back. He feels like she has basically ruined every good thing in his life, and even just her being on the show kind of ruins his life, and so he's kind of held a grudge for her all this time, but she actually doesn't know that he's holding this grudge for her, and because of that she's like determined to get him to like her, and through the process of her trying to get him to like her, he like starts to feel bad about these different things that he's done to have the payback, and of course you know what happens. It's a romance novel, but I just just feel like them deciding that they liked each other, even like if they didn't tell each other, I feel like the tension just like wasn't there. And I feel like something that's like so important in a closed door romance is the tension, because there's not other stuff happening, you know? So I, like I said, gave it 3 stars, but that's okay. Those are all the books I read in May of 2024. I'm a little late getting this filmed, but whatever, ignore that please. But that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.